TMOT, or should I say Derrick Grayson, aka TMOT. You know, I notice a lot of people sometimes say TMOT. I don't know where the end comes from, but I still love you. Thank you for all of the people that have bought me coffee. I really appreciated that. I'm not asking for any coffee this time, but I am going to ask you to support an event that's coming up. It's called the Big Event, featuring the Cliff's Edge Tour, which I will explain after I talk about Mr. RFK. RFK has officially suspended his campaign and backed Donald Trump. Now, everybody is a little bit suspicious of the man, etc., etc. And I understand why. But let me tell you why it's a good thing. Oh, but let me tell you the bad part. Explain why many people are kind of concerned about RFK. I wouldn't vote for him for dog catcher if he was running for political office. Why? He has been a lifelong Democrat. Being a lifelong Democrat means he has watched his party transform into something that John F. Kennedy would not recognize. His sister has criticized him for what he's doing, essentially saying he's supporting a man that is a threat to this country. Now, I don't know where these people get this nonsense from. Who can be upset about closing the border? That's not racist. Who can be upset about fair and balanced trade between us and China or Mexico? Who can be upset about cutting taxes? Now, understand something, and I always ask people these questions when they talk about Trump is going to cut taxes on the rich. What these idiots don't understand, when you raise the corporate tax rate, do you think that the corporations are going to give you the products or services that you have been getting at the same price? Hell no, they are not. They are going to raise their costs so that they can keep their corporate profits at the same. They have shareholders and they don't want to operate at a loss. They aren't going to operate at a loss. When you look at medium and small size businesses, when they tell a McDonald's you've got to now pay your employees $25 an hour, what the hell do you think McDonald's is going to do? If they've got 25 employees, they're going to cut it down to 18 employees and pay them the $25 an hour. They're also going to raise the cost of their food just to ensure that the level of revenue or income that they have been operating at is maintained. So that's the cost being passed on to you. Now, I don't understand how anybody that works for a living can support those types of policies. And again, RFK has been in this party all the while that they have been doing this. Tax and spend, tax and spend. Don't get me wrong. There's only the Uni Party, and I've got a thing going on about the rhinos. I'll talk about that when I get to the big event. But getting back to this, those costs are passed on to you. When Joe Biden got in office and immediately stopped our independence on energy, what happened? Gas prices went up. In some places, gas under Trump, because we had become energy independent, gas was less than $2 a gallon. Now we've got people in some places paying $4 and $5 a gallon, depending on where you are. Okay, so this is what Joe Biden's policies wrought, and rather than taking us back to energy independence, what Joe Biden did to lower the cost of gasoline, because I think we're down to about maybe $3.50 a gallon for premium, he started raiding our oil reserves to dump that into onto the market to kind of bring the cost down. Why? Because of the election. The election. So our oil reserves have been depleted. Man, look it up. So when I talk about the people that worked, that will end up paying more for food, because you know what? If it costs the trucker more to buy his fuel, guess what? He's going to raise his costs to deliver it. And when he raises his costs to deliver it, that means that the grocer has to pay more. What do you think the grocer is going to do? They're going to increase their costs to you because it costs them more to order it. Do you understand how this works? I mean, this is basic economics. Now, any person, there's a girl I went to school with, constantly saying stupid crap on my wall as though she don't understand anything. She took the same accounting 1 and 2 that I did and the same econ 1 and 2 that I took. This should be simple for her to understand, and she works. She's a computer scientist like me. She's going to pay more for everything if Kamala Harris gets in. And then when you talk about price fixing, what do you think that's going to do? Eventually, sellers that provide that stuff will just stop producing it, making it available. You want to know why? If they are forcing them to sell it, I'm going to use some just simple numbers. If they are forcing them to limit their cost to $5, but it costs them $6 just to get it into the store, they will stop selling it. That's how that works. And you can look up history. It didn't work in South America or Brazil or whatever that country is. It didn't work in Russia. It didn't work in China. All of them have tried that. It just simply does not work. Millions died in China when Mao Zedong did what he did to that country. So you will find a shortage of products if Kamala Harris is elected. Look, there's a lot on the ballot, more than just Trump or Kamala Harris. It's the things that they stand for. The sodomitism, the transgender mental illness stuff, that's what we have at stake. So RFK has sat under all of that. And one last point. I was in, I think it was North Carolina, Charlotte, wherever it was when they had their DNC meeting. I was there. I was outside protesting abortion. They wanted the word God removed from their platform, official platform. Some of you may remember that. Look it up. Look it up. Guess who else did that? 1948 Israel. Look up their constitution. Rather than they didn't want to use the explicit word God, so they put in the word rock to satisfy those that wanted the word God and to satisfy those that weren't interested in the word God. Listen, Jesus himself and Paul, I think Peter as well, all declared that Satan is the ruler of this world. It's not ours. And they are continuously taking over and bringing us things that we don't want. I told a brother who sent me something about, imagine you were forced to wear a mask. What about a woman forced to have a baby? And I said, are you kidding me? Now this is a guy. I went to high school with him. Some things I don't understand. And I just told him, put on a damn condom. Abstain. Get on the pill. You got all manner of methods, at least half a dozen, for avoiding a pregnancy. There is no excuse for it. And I told him, you are a threat to the family and the life of a child in the womb. That's what these people are when they support women and calling this health care. It's not health care. It's murder. All right? Health care is when you get sick. Being pregnant is not a sickness. Health care is when you want to go to the dentist because you need a tooth yanked out of your mouth. That is not the case with the baby, yanking it out of the womb. And I call those women that engage in that, I call their vaginas hell holes. That's what they are. It's a hell hole. Robert F.K. Robert F.K. Jr. set up under all of that for most of his life as a Democrat. But when he decided to run for for president, the party turned on him. Why did they turn on him? They turned on him because he is against Big Pharma and what it's doing to this country. We need that. Not somebody like Dr. Fauci. You know what that man did. He should be in prison. So RFK wants to go up against Big Pharma and stop them. Well, why did the Democrats turn on him for that? Because Big Pharma pays them a lot of money. They get a bunch of money. They own most of the politicians that are in D.C. Well, let me put it this way. The politicians, most of them in D.C., are owned by multiple lobbyist groups who are working for the corporations, military-industrial complex, Big Pharma, food industry. I could go on and on and on. They own them. But when Robert F. Kennedy started talking about Big Pharma, COVID, and the vaccines, they turned on it. So we need that. That's one reason. Reason number two, and see, Trump would be the stopgap on all of that abortion crap if he started trying to bring that to the table. I don't know. I ain't never heard him say he was against abortion. Don't really care, because Trump will be the stopgap on that. But we need him going up against the big pharma and the FDA. Period. End of story. The second reason that is a good thing, he's polling at 5%. Now, I know I don't trust the polls, and any polls that you see right now are really useless because they don't matter until after the first debate, when Kamala Harris gets up there and makes a fool out of herself. She'll make a fool out of herself, and they'll still say she did a good job, and they'll still lie to you about the polls. But that's not the point. You will know the truth. Democrats will know the truth, but they won't acknowledge it, and independents would know the truth. Robert F. Kennedy is polling at 5% with the independents. Well, guess what? They've got Trump at 47% and Kamala, I think, at 50%. That 5% that Robert F. Kennedy is polling at with the independents, that will go to Trump. That puts him over the hill, over the top. All right? So that is reason number two why it's a good idea for him to be running. All right? So I think I have talked enough about that. I hope you got something out of it. Here's what I want you to do. We're having a big event, the Cliff's Edge Tour. Let me tell you a little bit about what the Cliff's Edge Tour is about. It's about purging rhinos, going after those that betray us each and every day, because the Democrats wouldn't be able to do what they do to us if they didn't have help on the other side. That's the Cliff's Edge Tour. That's what the movement that I put together, and I've got a group of people that are going to be speakers, and we're going to be going out trying to educate people all the way up to election time to get them to do the right thing, get them to see what's really happening. We're having it at Dave and Lucretia Cluckins. I think I got that. Cutchins. You know what? I call her Lucretia Hughes. I don't know necessarily how to pronounce the name, but they've got a big, beautiful farm up in Loganville. We're having the event there. There will be many speakers, including myself, Lucretia, and many, many more. But we got a special guest, Judge Joe Brown. He will be there. He's got Kamala Harris, Heels Up Harris. He's got her number. He knows the goods. It will be live streamed. But what I am asking you to do is to look in the description box. Please don't comment, well, how do I donate? Look in the description box. You will see the Zelle number for Lucretia Hughes to send your donations there to help us get this thing up off the ground. We've got to get porta potties and other things that we need for the event. So help us put this event on. We're trying to raise $3,000 to get this thing going. Please go in and make a donation. I will be adding CashApp in the description box. I don't want you sending me any money. I don't want you buying me any coffee. Help us get this money together. I put the link to the event for those of you that are on Facebook, and I am going to get the flyer put up on the Cliff's Edge website. I will put the link in there later on today, along with a Cash App that you can also send your donations to. So you'll have Zelle, you'll have Cash App. I think they've got a Venmo account. That will be in the description box. And our website for On the Cliff's Edge is onthecliffsedge.com. So there you have it, people. Help us help Trump, because Trump needs more than our votes this time around. We can't let the rhinos do to him what they did in 2017 when 45 plus members quit. That includes Trey Gowdy. No reason for them to quit, but they were made to. Why? So they could limit Trump to executive orders. The Democrats and the rhinos know how to play the long game, because they know that there are those out there that don't pay attention, that run around talking about vote red. Vote red ain't helping nothing. We need to purge rhinos first, then vote red in the general election. But if you don't do your job in the primary, you ain't done a damn thing. But help the Democrats. Rhinos must go. Period. End of story. That is the help that Trump needs. That is how we can help him. So please, please, I ain't never begged, and I ain't never said please. You know, when I ask for something, I say, look, if you got something out of this, buy me a cup of coffee. You people have been very, very, very good about that. All right? But I don't need any coffee this time. I need you to help us put this event together so that it will be a blast. If you are in the Loganville area, that's just outside of Atlanta, please show up. It's free. It's free. We're going to have vendors. They're going to have food, entertainment, live bands. Come on out. And Judge Joe Brown. And, of course, Lucretia and yours truly will also be speaking. Help us bring it home. T-Mont out, drive time, till next time. And if you got something out of this, help us support the big event, the Cliff's Edge tour. Okay? Peace out.